Alright, welcome back everybody. What we're going to work on today is going to be a big meal I'm cooking for everybody here at Le Robert Estates. My mom, my stepdad, me, my lady, my sister, and my nieces, and whoever else they bring along with them. Anyway, today what we're going to make is, we're going to do stuffed bell peppers. We're going to try to do some cabbage rolls. I'm going to see how it comes out. It's been a long time since I did any cabbage rolls, so I'm not going to promise anything there. And then with the potatoes, what we're going to do is we're going to do a parsley potatoes. You may call it something else, but it's going to be a lot of prep. So what I'm going to do is now, I'm going to go ahead. I have to cap my peppers. I'm going to go ahead and cap them, clean them out real well. And then on my potatoes, I got to go ahead and peel one thing all the way around off, and what that's going to do is, and I'm going to show you whenever we're cooking, that'll let the broth that we're going to cook them in, let it absorb more of the broth, so they'll be done a little faster, plus they'll get the season in it. I also have to, once I get this done, I'll have to boil my cabbage. I'll boil my cabbage for about 10 minutes, the whole head, so I can peel off the outside leaves that are tender as I go through it. And also I'll boil my bell peppers for about 3 to 5 minutes, and just to get them ready. And then from there, I'll set it to the side, and I'll have to brown my trinity, my onions, my garlic, and my peppers in with my. Today I'm using ground beef and ground pork to make this rice dressing that we're going to use. We're going to use extra long grain rice. And one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and not going to have time to show y'all everything because it's a long process, but I do want to let y'all know what I'm going to do is I boil my rice in chicken broth, and I also grind a pepper up, or process a pepper in a pepper or two in a food processor and break it down, so whenever you see my rice is done, if it's got a little greenish tint to it, that's the reason why. It puts a little bit more of that flavor in there. I'm going to boil it. Once I'm done boiling it, I'll have my meat and my trinity all browned down. I'll mix it together. I'll add a little bit more broth and let it cook down. And then I'll take it and stuff my peppers. Hopefully make my rolls if I don't get too aggravated with it. And we'll throw it in the oven and let it cook for about an hour from there. But anyway, let me get this started, and we'll be back with y'all shortly. Alright, we're back. I got my bell peppers boiled, my cabbage boiled, got it sitting to the side cooling in some cool water. I've got my rice boiled, getting it ready. It's ready for me to add my meat. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to brown down some of my meat, and I'm going to start with my trinity, my peppers, onion, and bell peppers, onions, and garlic. Okay. Ooh, it's hot in here today. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this here. We're cooking a big skillet today. We got a lot of food we're going to put down here. We're going to go ahead and get that going. Get it stirred up a little bit. Y'all see that? I have a look at that camera to make sure y'all can see that. We're going to get that going, get it browned down. Add a little bit of seasoning to it. A little cayenne pepper. Not a whole lot. We don't want this real spicy. We're going to do that. We're going to put a little salt in it. Gosh. There you go. One of my favorites, cracked black pepper. We're going to season it up. I put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan so it doesn't stick. Smelling good already. There you go. And I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic powder to it. There you go. Add a little bit of that garlic powder. Let me get back on this side over here. Get this stirred up a little bit. Right now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cook this down. About 5 minutes or so. Once I get it cooked down, I'm going to take some of it out. We're going to add our ground meat, or ground beef and ground pork to it. cook it down, season it up, and make a little meat to add to our dressing. And we're going to stuff our potatoes and hopefully make cabbage rolls with. But we'll be right back. Okay, our Trinity's been cooking down for about 8 or 10 minutes. What I'm going to do now is, if I can get this camera set up right, what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to take about close to half of it out of the skillet, and I'm going to set it to the side. And you're going to see we're going to use this skillet for a few things today. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to add my meat. I'm going to set this to the side. This is going to go on our potatoes, our parsley potatoes. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or not, but in our potatoes also we're going to have mushrooms. It's going to be mushrooms. It's going to be, I guess you call it, parsley, mushroom, and potatoes. But we still got this cooking down. We're going to set this to the side. One thing I did add some Crazy About Crawfish seasoning. That's from a little restaurant, a little cafe, a little Cajun cafe in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. It's real good. It's not too salty. I think they use sea salt in it. It's got a good garlic flavor with some spice. You can add whatever kind of seasoning you want, season your Trinity with. Like I said, Trinity that I use, most people is bell pepper, onion, and celery. I'm not much of a celery person, so I use bell peppers, onion, and garlic. I love garlic, and if you ever taste my food, I just about bet you can taste garlic in anything I make. What we have here, we got about, close to 2 pounds of pork, and right at 3 pounds of beef that we're going to add into that. We're going to brown it. Once we get it browned down, make sure, one big thing, one big pet peeve of mine is in cooking, anytime that you're browning any meat down, go ahead and season it before it's brown. A lot of people, I've eaten their food, and you can tell the difference. It don't really get in it as good as the season don't really get in it as good as it does if you don't brown it first. I'm sorry, if you don't season it before it's brown. I'm going to add some of this Crazy About Crawfish Cajun seasoning to it. If I can get it to come out, I think my bottle's just about empty. So I might have to take a trip to see Miss D or Megan over at Crazy About Crawfish. If y'all do ever make a stop by there, that's Breaux Bridge, it's I-10 in Louisiana. Exit 109, I want to say. It's going to be about a quarter of a mile south of the interstate. The crawfish is great. All the food's pretty good there. I'm going to go ahead and season this up. I'm going to get it browned down, and whenever we come back, we're going to go ahead and mix our rice in it, and then we'll go ahead and start stuffing our peppers, making our rolls, and while we're doing that, we'll have our potatoes on. We'll be back shortly. Okay, welcome back. I'm finishing up stuffing my peppers. What I did with the dressing, I cooked down, like I said, about 2 pounds of pork, ground pork, about 3 pounds of ground beef, with my Holy Trinity, which is garlic, bell pepper, and onions. And I also added some green onions in there also. Cooked it down. Whenever I got it cooked down, I added it brown and seasoned real well. I added my rice that I pre-boiled. Whenever I added my rice, I added a little bit of chicken broth, and I cooked it down with the meat for about 5 to 10 minutes, just kind of stirring it on medium-low, just to kind of let all the flavors marry into the rice, and vice versa. What I did was, after that, I just took a small spoon, stuffed my bell peppers. I think like I could add a little bit more to this one here. I want to make sure they're full. Get as much as we can up in there, because y'all know them people's going to want to eat as much as they can, and it's only got about 12 peppers, so I hope a couple people don't eat tonight. I know I could eat 2 or 3 of them by myself. But anyway, what we're going to do is, I'm finished up here. I'm gonna leave y'all for a minute. I'm gonna get my cabbage prepared where we can make some cabbage rolls, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, we're stuffing our rolls now. Our cabbage rolls. What I did was, after boiling the cabbage as I did earlier, I took it, let it soak in cold water, let it cool off. That helped the leaves, the big leaves, makes it easier to get them off from the head of cabbage. And then what I did was I cut the vein out of the thick vein out of the middle of the cabbage leaf, and that left us with 2 parts. And now we're just put a couple little spoons in there, the stuffing mix, fold the ends over. Looks like I might put a little bit too much in this one. Anyway, fold the ends over and try to make it fold over like that. Now if I can hold this together until I get it in my pan, I may be alright. There you go. Anyway, we're going to go ahead, we're going to continue doing these right here. And once we're done, I'm going to take them and put them in the oven for, like I said earlier, 30 to 45 minutes on around 300 degrees. And while we're doing that, we're also going to, I told y'all we were going to cook some potatoes. And what we'll do while these are in the oven, we'll get back in that big skillet. Alright, we got it all finished up. Our potatoes came out good. If you look on the left side of the plate, you'll see we have the potatoes and the mushrooms that was cooked down with the parsley and our Trinity. We have 3 cabbage rolls that was stuffed with rice, pork, and beef mixture. And we have the same mixture in our stuffed bell pepper. We topped it off with some shredded cheddar and jalapeno jack cheese, and topped that with a little bit of green onions. Anyway, I'm starving. I know it's not the prettiest plate that I've ever made, but if y'all was here to smell it, I think y'all would agree that it's going to be good eating. Until the next video, y'all, take care.